On April 2024, April 17th, I showed up at the DHS subcommittee to support Sam Salephour, the whistleblower, for the Boeing 777 and 787 about their design issues. Boeing was made an FAA agency in 2009 where they can self-certify their own aircraft technologies, like the MCAS system that killed 346 people on the Ethiopian Air and Indonesian airline, and also aircraft designs. I went there. I've got 40 plus years in aerospace, medical implants, materials, and printing. My background is plastics, composites, Kevlar, boron, graphite, etc., and non-ferrous metals, aluminum, titanium alloys. The paperwork that I'm showing here showed that Boeing relinquished, gave up, went kaput, and they said to their suppliers, send in your certs, send in your parts, and if the need be or need arises, we'll come out to visit you. And we are going to get rid of redundant inspection. Now we're going to continue. On June 18th, I went back and I saw many of the Ethiopian Air and Indonesian Air families, holding up, and I'll never forget that woman who held up their sign to David Calhoun, who didn't give two flying shits about anything. He really didn't. He did not. He's getting $45 million. He doesn't care. Win or lose. And he's still on the board. I'm a shareholder. Isn't that nice? I can make those shares into a paper airplane. It'll probably fly better than the 737 MAX. So I heard that lady say, you killed my daughter, you killed my family. Now I'm going to tell you the truth, ladies and gentlemen. Donald Trump, I sent Donald Trump and Elon Musk this document. I only am showing you the front page. The booklet was almost 40 pages long, showing you about the DOJ, the DHS, ANSI-ANAB, IF, and let's continue on. Trump's blind spot, how the DOJ, Boeing, and the certification cartel escaped justice. Ladies and gentlemen, and this great country, today I'm speaking to you not just with facts, but with righteous indignation, because the very system that claims to protect American lives has once again bowed to corporate power and political convenience. We just witnessed it. Donald Trump's own Department of Justice cut a sweetheart deal with Boeing, letting them escape a guilty plea over the deaths of 346 men and women and children in the 737 MAX crashes. 2 crashes, hundreds of dead, and what does DOJ do? Fold their cards, and I'm going to tell you why. Let me ask you, how can President Trump praise the DOJ when the DOJ is itself compromised, embedded inside a corrupt certification empire? Because here's what they don't want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, and don't fly on a Boeing. I am a shareholder. I was out at Boeing in Washington State, Everett, Renton, Auburn, and Northfield for almost a month in October of 2024. Here's what they don't want you to know. The DOJ is listed on the board member and customer of the American National Standards Institute, ANSI, and its partner in power, the American National Accreditation Board, ANAB. These two entities are not just standard bodies, they are the enforcement wing of the global certification cartel. They certify Boeing, but they did not certify Boeing. They certified the suppliers. Boeing demanded ANSI-ANAB on a 2002 supplier notification in July. But they themselves, for 20 plus years, did not get that certification, but they demanded that. Isn't that a tender moment? They licensed very auditors who sign off on systems that failed, leading to fatal crashes. So let me say it clearly. Trump's DOJ made a deal with Boeing that the victims' families did not want, and ANSI-ANAB were right there in the chain of approvals, in bed with both Boeing and the very federal agencies meant to hold them accountable. This is the same DOJ that turned a blind eye while Boeing self-certified its own aircraft in 2009 with the FAA asleep at the wheel. Ignored the fact that DHS and the National Institute of Standards and Technology, part of the Department of Commerce, and the Department, NIST, Department of Commerce, DOJ, DHS, are all ANSI members, dual compensated, conflicted, and corrupt. Sat silent while ANSI and ANAB advertised themselves on government websites such as the DHS in 2017. We have all the data, which is a direct violation of federal law, including 5 CFR 2635, 702, and 18 USC 209, both of which prohibit private benefit and dual compensation from public office. Yes, they did. Mr. Phil Matheson from the DHS sat on ANSI-ANAB's board, getting $262,000 plus their federal salary. Isn't that tender? You know who made the first alarm sound? I did, Daryl Guberman, 10 years ago. Guberman exposed this mess over a decade ago. He showed how ANSI and ANAB are linked to foreign interests, including Chinese national Zhao Junwu, who chaired the International Accreditation Forum between 2015 and 21, who is mandated by his country of origin, Communist China, to take our data through the China National Intelligence Law, Article number 7. Elon Musk don't got nothing on me. He may have a couple more zeros in his name, but he doesn't have what I have up here. Unbelievable. With his Dodge. And they chaired the International Accreditation Forum, which was founded by the American National Standards Institute, American National Crediting Board, and their sister organization, the International Laboratory Accreditation Cooperation, which is in Australia. Both of those organizations are associations of national and international accreditation bodies equivalent in accreditation to ANSI-ANAB, and they are its underwriters as well, take full legal responsibility. The Chinese national chaired the International Accreditation Forum while certifying the American defense suppliers. He showed how Boeing, the DOJ, and even Wuhan Institute of Virology, yes, that Wuhan were all operating under the same compromised certification schemes. And yet Trump, a man who says he wants to drain the swamp, hasn't addressed this one. I tried to inform him in 2017, yet he had a former Boeing employee as Deputy Secretary of Defense, Patrick Shanahan, when asked about the F-35, said that was fucked up. And he did. Look that up. Patrick Shanahan, fucked up F-35. Donald Trump, we sent you the evidence, as I've showed you before. We sent you the evidence, you and Elon. We sent you the evidence. You were briefed. We sent you the documents showing how your own federal agencies were advertising for private companies. We showed you the conflicts of interest, the foreign ties, the fraudulent certifications, and the deadly consequences. So I ask you now, will you stand with the American people or with Boeing and the DOJ protection racket? Because letting Boeing off the hook while claiming to be a law and order president is hypocrisy of the highest order. Real justice means holding powerful corporations accountable. I was there during the Ted Cruz and Maria Cantwell, whom Ted Cruz gets $20,000 donation from Boeing for his political campaign, and Maria Cantwell gets $100,000. Was that a fair assessment of this? No, it wasn't. It's corrupt. Real justice means holding powerful corporations accountable. Real patriotism means confronting the certification system that failed us. They failed us in Wuhan. They failed us with Boeing. And real leadership means listening to truth-sayers like myself, Daryl Guberman, who has been warning us all along. It's time to clean house, Mr. Trump. It's time to investigate ANSI-ANAB, Boeing, the DOJ role shielding corporate killers. It's time to honor the lives lost, not the deals behind closed doors, but with truth, justice, and a full public reckoning. America first means truth, my friend. America first means truth. Justice for the 737 MAX families begins now. And the swamp isn't drained until Boeing and its protectors face the music. And I thank you, President Trump. And just remember this. It is not the size of the dog in the fight that counts. It is the size of the fight in the dog. Ladies and gentlemen, those who passed away, those family members of Ethiopian Air and Indonesian Air, I'm in your corner. The problem is your lawyers aren't. They're part of the ANSI-ANAB corrupt system, without a doubt. They deal with the American Bar Association. I can help you. Call me, 203-556-1493. And I thank you.